Okay!
Marvel's Spider-Man has been out on PlayStation 4 for just over a week now, and having beat the game, platinuming it, I've seen all the costumes there is, I've got some opinions, and there's clearly some winners among all 28 outfits. So today we're going to run through the 5 best outfits and powers attached to each suit and a little bit of their history in Spider-Man PS4. Kicking off the list is the suit I actually used for the majority of the game past a certain point, pretty much once I unlocked it, and that is the Mark IV Spider Armor. So the Spider Armor Mark IV is a pretty recent addition to the Marvel Comics universe. In The Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker eventually becomes successful, has his own business, Parker Industries. Now, a lot of people aren't really familiar with this because Parker Industries is just focused on being explored in the comics. The Spider Armor Mark IV, it was actually designed as a gift to the Prowler, also known as Hobie Brown, as a way to protect Peter's identity. That way Prowler could switch between Spider-Man and the Prowler on the fly. Peter Parker and Spider-Man obviously aren't the same person if they can be in the same room at the same time. Peter did end up wearing the suit as default actually, and it became his look for the rest of the Amazing Spider-Man run up to October of last year. The in-game bonus ability triggers like them all when you click the left and the right stick. This time it generates a magnetic shield that absorbs all damage for a short amount of time, so if you find yourself getting hit a lot, I recommend using this suit's power. It helps out in some fights where you get overwhelmed by lots of thugs. Number 4, and next up on the list, is the Spider-Man 2099 black suit. Despite clearly not being black, this is very clearly blue. The suit was first worn by Miguel O'Hara in Earth 928, 2099. It's basically Spider-Man of the future. So Batman Beyond, Blade Runner, imagine that with Spider-Man, and that's where Miguel O'Hara steps in as his reign as Spidey. The suit's power isn't really that practical in combat, but it really makes web swinging a lot of fun because you can trigger it and decrease gravity for a short amount of time, allowing you to hover longer because in the comics, Spider-Man 2099, like Batman Beyond, has the ability to rocket places. He can hover, so it makes it cool, it makes you feel closer to Spider-Man 2099, but the suit is really awesome, especially at night. Next up is actually tied into one of the problems I have with the suits in the game. It really should mean something when Spider-Man dons a black suit. There is so much tied to the symbiote suit in the comics, and that is clearly not here. They are clearly hinting at a sequel sort of thing with the symbiote, but that is for another video. But Spider-Man putting on a black suit should mean something. The symbiote, Miles, there's some emotional investment there. A lot of the suits in the game are black, but there is one that I think stands above the rest, and it's actually in context with the world and the story. It's the only suit besides the advanced suit you see Peter pick up and take in with him, and that is the Black Cat suit. The Black Cat suit is actually an original for this game. Felicia crafted it as a gift to Spider-Man. It's very clear in this side quest for Felicia's storyline that Peter and Felicia have a history, and Felicia gifted Peter with a Black Cat inspired Spidey suit. It's black, it's got lenses like her goggles, it's got a red spider, and really cool detail on the fingers of the Spidey outfit. You see claws at the fingertips. Nice touch. Really adds to the black catness of it. And if you're gonna wear a black suit in the game, I recommend this one because it means something. I really liked this suit when it was stormy out or when I was doing stealth missions. It really felt natural and it looks great in the city. The red and the black work great together. The Black Cat suit actually has no specific ability on it, but I ended up usually applying the Web Blossom to every single suit because it comes in clutch, and I'm not going to be mentioning that power in the video, so there you go. Web Blossom is overpowered and fantastic.
Hey guys, got prescriptions for this stuff? Welcome to the air show.
Moving on, we have one that is pretty divisive among the Spider-Man fans that I've talked to at least, and that is the Scarlet Spider suit. Now, Scarlet Spider suit isn't the most divisive thing, but the storyline it comes from is, which is the Clone Saga, which is a historically not so great period of time for the Amazing Spider-Man comics. Ben Reilly is a clone of Peter Parker who dons the Spider-Man outfit after receiving spider abilities as well, and that's the extent of which I want to explain it because that is really the basis of what you need to know. But the suit is awesome. I really like the homemade suit in Spider-Man Homecoming. It looks strange to me in the game, but this carries that essence. The suit pulls from a lot of different things for me, and that's why I think it works so well. And paying homage to the Spider-Man story of which the suit derives itself from, we have the holographic clone super ability, which I think is funny. I used it a few times for a while in the game. Doesn't really help that much, but it's funny, and when the first time I triggered it to see what the power was, I laughed because of course, that's the clever way to do it. But moving on to number 1, we have the obvious choice. I'm sorry it's boring. The vintage comic book suit. Slightly blue, but also you can tell there's black shading on there of the suit with the big fat red spider on the back, and it's cel shaded. I love the implementation of this. I really enjoyed it also in Arkham City, where you could play as Batman the animated series. With Batman, I didn't feel like it fit into the world that well, but in Insomniac's world of New York City, the vintage comic book suit fits so perfectly. I was swinging around that city and honestly thought I could play through the entire game in this suit and make it feel right, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up doing that when the New Game Plus for this drops later down the line, because it just fits so well. It's great in photo mode, especially because they gave you the Amazing Spider-Man comic cover as a border for your photos. It really fits well, and it feels great, and most importantly, the best part of the suit is the super ability, which is Quips. Basically, every time you trigger it, it stuns your enemies for a second. They're all taken aback.
You look starstruck. Relax. I put my pants on one web at a time.
And you get an extra chance to throw a punch in there. But Quips is, in itself, a brilliant idea for a super ability. It's awesome. I threw that onto a few other suits while I was playing in the open world towards the Platinum. But that is gonna do it for the list. These are my 5 favorite suits and abilities in Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4. So now I want to talk to all of you. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of my list. Let me know what your favorite suits are. I'm really curious because there are a lot of great ones in here. I like the white 2099 suit a lot. The Homecoming suit looks really great to swing around the city in. And of course, I'm in love with the basic suit you have at the beginning of the game. But if you're new to JoyClicks, if you enjoy Spider-Man and you want to see my coverage of Spider-Man over the next few months as DLC rolls out, be sure to subscribe and like the video. It means a ton. I appreciate you watching. Thank you, and as always, good vibes and good game.